Every single day, right from the moment that alarm goes off, we're just constantly making choices. Do I hit snooze? Do I leap out of bed?
Right.
Coffee, tea, what am I going to wear today?
Small stuff, yeah.
Yeah, they seem tiny, these little micro decisions, but they really do add up. They shape our mood, our whole day, really.
Absolutely. And then you've got the big ones.
Oh, yeah. Career moves, relationships, where you're going to live. Should I take that big risk or, play it safe?
Our lives are just built on those choices.
Yeah.
Literally.
Exactly. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Today we're doing a deep dive into a really fascinating piece by RuiEnglish called The Power of Choice, How Decision-Making Shapes Our Lives.
Nice.
And look, this isn't just about, how we decide things. It's digging deeper. It's seeing choice itself as something you can actually learn, a skill, even a competency that really impacts our well-being, our success.
It's a fresh perspective.
Yeah, hopefully giving you a new look at the agency you really have.
And what really struck me is how RuiEnglish frames it. Choice isn't just an action you take now and then.
No.
No, it's like the actual architecture of a good life. Think about it. Every brick in that building, the big ones, the small ones, they're all placed by a choice you made.
Wow, okay. Architecture, I like that.
So our mission today, really, is to pull out the core ideas here. How do we handle all the options? How do we balance, say, gut feeling versus careful thought? And ultimately, how do we make sure our decisions actually line up with what matters to us?
Yeah.
It's about empowering you to really own your path.
Taking ownership. Yeah. And RuiEnglish really, really hammers home this point that choice isn't optional. It's just relentless. It's always there.
Unavoidable.
Exactly. The article says every moment of your life, from the smallest daily detail to the most monumental fork in the road, hinges on a fundamental, relentless reality choice.
It's quite profound when you stop and think about it.
It is. It suggests we're not just following some script, destiny. Our world is shaped by the sum of our decisions. The ones we make on purpose, and maybe even more importantly, the ones we kind of duck.
The ones we avoid making, yeah.
Yeah.
It puts the responsibility squarely on us.
Yeah. Our lives aren't mapped out. We're building the map with every choice. It's powerful, maybe a little daunting too.
Definitely daunting sometimes.
Oh?
But the author pushes it further with this really vivid metaphor. Choice as the currency of existence.
Ah, the currency.
Okay.
Right.
And if you accept that, if choice is your currency, the immediate question is, well, how well are you spending it?
Oof, that hits home.
Right. The article is super clear. Our ultimate satisfaction in work, in life, it's fundamentally determined by the choices we make.
So it's not just philosophical fluff, it's practical.
Extremely practical. Are we investing that choice currency wisely? Or just letting it dribble away? It makes you value each decision differently.
I really like that currency idea. It makes something abstract feel very real. And RuiEnglish connects it straight to our daily lives, doesn't it? Choice is the defining metric of our life, quality, and personal well-being.
It's the yardstick.
Exactly. And it's not just about dodging bad outcomes. Making good conscious choices actually instills confidence, control, and peace of mind.
It goes beyond just being a soft skill.
Right. It's called a strategic competency, something that leads to being more efficient, having a clearer view of the future. Imagine having that clarity. That's a serious return on investment for your choice currency.
Which brings us to a really crucial distinction the source makes. One, people often mix up.
Okay.
The difference between decision-making as a skill versus a competency.
Ah, right. Skill versus competency. What's the difference according to RuiEnglish?
So a skill involves the specific steps. Gathering info, weighing options, maybe doing a pros and cons list, the mechanics. Exactly. But a competency is deeper. It's the proven ability to use those skills effectively again and again to get the results you want.
So not just knowing how, but actually doing it well, consistently.
Precisely. So RuiEnglish says decision-making is not just about selecting an option, it's a strategic competency. And here's the key part. It's improvable and learnable.
Okay, that's huge. It's not fixed. You're not just born decisive or not.
Exactly. You can actively work on it, get better at it.
And that's where it gets really exciting for me, because that means we actually have real power here, right?
Mm-hmm.
The source says our ability to select a path, aligning that choice with our personal vision and values, is the very engine that moves our lives forward.
The engine.
So thinking of it like an engine, It's not fixed. We can tune it up. We can maintain it. We can learn to drive it better towards where we want to go. We're not just passengers.
We are the drivers, unequivocally.
So how does RuiEnglish suggest we actually start tuning up this engine? Or maybe how do we even spot when it's like misfiring?
That's the perfect question, because knowing you have the power is step one. RuiEnglish suggests tuning it starts with understanding the whole landscape of choice. And one of the biggest hurdles we face, something called choice overload.
Slight chuckle. Oh, choice overload. I think literally everyone listening knows that feeling.
Tell me about it.
Seriously, ever spent like an hour scrolling Netflix, totally paralyzed by all the stuff?
And end up watching nothing.
Exactly, that's what RuiEnglish means. An overwhelming number of alternatives that makes choosing actually feel painful.
It's a real burden psychologically.
Yeah, it's not just annoying. It can lead to regret, uncertainty about the what-ifs, the roads not taken. And that hits our motivation, our performance. Why do our brains struggle so much with too many good options?
It's a weird paradox, isn't it? We think we want infinite choice, but it breaks us sometimes. RuiEnglish looks at how we approach this, basically highlighting two main ways we tend to make decisions.
Okay, what are they?
First, there's intuition, fast thinking. You see this a lot in experts. They make super quick judgments, almost instinctive.
Because they've seen it all before.
Pretty much. They're rapidly recognizing patterns from experience, using those cognitive shortcuts that fast thinking Daniel Kahneman talked about, like an experienced doctor diagnosing a patient almost instantly.
Right, processing information at lightning speed. It looks like magic, but it's built on years of experience.
Exactly. It's pattern recognition honed over time. Then on the flip side, you have analysis, slow thinking.
The deliberate approach.
Yeah. This is what people with less experience often need, or when you face something totally new, you have to slow down, gather data, weigh pros and cons carefully, think methodically.
Like figuring out a complex budget for the first time. Lots of spreadsheets.
You got it. But here's the really key thing RuiEnglish stresses. It doesn't matter if it's fast or slow, intuition or analysis. The goal remains the same, to integrate knowledge and experience, to constantly refine how we handle the complexities.
So it's about balance, knowing when to trust your gut and when to hit the brakes and think it through.
Precisely. It's about having both tools in your toolkit and knowing which one fits the situation.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So how do we get better at integrating that knowledge and experience? How do we move past just being overwhelmed and start making choices that are truly intentional?
Well, RuiEnglish says that to make sure our choices really boost our well-being, improve our lives, we have to be deliberate, intentional about the process.
Okay, and what does that look like?
It means consciously aligning every choice, big or small, with your core values and your goals, both short-term and long-term.
So not just what feels good now, but what actually gets you closer to the life you want.
Exactly. And the source gives us some pretty practical steps for this.
Good, let's hear them.
It talks about the discipline to ponder the potential outcomes of each available option.
Yeah.
Not just a quick glance, but really thinking through the what-ifs.
Visualizing consequences.
Yeah. And related to that, the need to take the necessary time to process information thoroughly. Sometimes the best move is to step back, sleep on it. Let your subconscious chew on it. Don't rush.
Be deliberate, not impulsive. Okay.
And here's something fascinating. The direct link made between good decision-making and health.
Health. How so?
RuiEnglish notes that wise decision-making is empowered by investing in our health. Things like a balanced diet, exercise, even mindfulness and self-reflection, they sharpen your mental clarity.
So taking care of yourself literally makes you a better decision maker.
That's the argument. It's foundational, not just a nice extra. And one more thing. Well, getting advice from people you trust is often smart. The article is firm. The ultimate responsibility and power of the final decision remains ours. You own the choice.
You formed autonomy. I like that. That idea of personal responsibility feels really central here. And it connects back to the author's background too, right? Integrating this into teaching.
Yeah. RuiEnglish has a background as an English language coach, interpreter, psychoanalyst, and has actually built decision-making strategies into language courses, EFL, ESL, ESP.
English learning, basically. How does that work in practice?
Well, imagine a language learner struggling with, say, a tricky grammar point or a scary presentation. Instead of just getting stuck, they're taught to choose a strategy.
Like practicing with a friend or breaking it down.
Exactly. Or finding real-world examples. They choose a path, try it, reflect on whether it worked, and adjust if needed. They're applying decision-making to their learning.
Ah, I see. So it fosters that self-awareness early on.
Right. It promotes personal responsibility and life competencies. It teaches them to handle uncertainty, make clear choices within their learning, and that builds resilience, leads to success not just in English, but as a life skill.
Building that mindset from the start makes sense. Every little learning choice adds up. So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for you listening right now? This deep dive really shows that choice isn't just about picking stuff. It's like the actual fabric of our lives.
Yeah.
And crucially, it's a competency we can learn, we can improve. It touches everything, our mood, our work, our long-term happiness.
And if you connect all these dots, the big picture is moving from just reacting to life to actively designing it.
Being the architect, like you said earlier.
Exactly. By consciously making choices that align with your values, by taking care of your mental clarity, you genuinely lift your own well-being and satisfaction, the power, the agency. It's always there within you. You just have to choose to use it intentionally.
Yeah. And Ruining English leaves us with this really powerful final thought. Choice is the ultimate act of self-definition. You're not a passenger. You are the architect of your life's quality. And when you really grab hold of that responsibility, it's entirely up to you.
That's empowering.
It really is. So here's a question we want to leave you with, something to chew on after this deep dive is over. Think about a significant decision you made recently. What values really guided you in that moment? And if you pause and think, maybe not immediately spring to mind, then what values should have guided you?
I'm running around looking for peace.